no jacklight in ICU. No, in a silo, two people must turn toward one another. The frightened love, the moat, time digs. Just standing still won't make a house, more a grave. Dead, waiting for the dead. Time alone would pull it down. Soon, animals fist through the car window, pieces pooling in your clothes. Rain them into the toilet. Now what? Now nothing. Stand still, and time will reach you. This one's by Jason Whitney from the book Bear, Coyote, Raven. It's called Coyote. Coyote walks along the trail of the Milky Way. Dust seeks dust, wild seeks wild. He hears the moon calling. She is light years away, leaving dust in his eyes. Seeds of dreams as light waxes and wild wanes. Hey.
Yeah, Jay. Drexel, can you move the chair next to you a little bit? Because it's in the frame.
Oh.
Yeah. Push it left or right, you know?
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, sir.
John Collette.
We wanted you in the frame, Drexel. You were good in the frame. Yeah, John.
I'm gonna play the piano.
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome, dude. I think you're ripping the piano on
Do you want a lower mic stand for that?
Um,
that. Just say yes, brother.
I think I can make it work.
He's got it. Okay, great.
Tree. That orange. Tripods. Giant navel oranges. Yes.
So, I'm going to a wedding, and I wrote this song for a friend that's getting married. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I got a diamond ring, and I'd only trade it for one thing: a loving hand to hold, someone with to grow old, the happy times and the sad, the good days and the bad. I'll be yours, yours forevermore. Like a pear in a tree, we will happily be. Seed from this fruit will sprout and take root to a family of trees with a forest to please. I'm down on one knee carry you through the door. There's so much for you in store. You're my best, best, best friend, and I'll be with you till the end. Got a long, long life to live. Got a lot of love left to give. There's nothing I wouldn't do to make you happy. I've got a diamond ring, and I'd only trade it for one thing. A loving hand to hold, someone with to grow old, through the happy times and the sad, the good days and the bad. I'll be yours, yours forevermore.
So we're all gonna have to be musicians now.
And you, poet, just sitting there with a piece of paper. Wow, that was very impressive.
Did you get poetry to me when I do it? That's it. So when's the wedding gonna be?
May.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be beautiful. That's an incredible gift.
Thank you.
Thank you, John Collette. So, you still teaching, Alexander?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, get up here and teach us something.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Yes, I am still teaching. Yes, I'm still teaching 6th grade. Yes, I may be the best teacher in the district. Yes, I may be the best teacher in the state. Might be the best teacher in New England.
That's what I hear.
I wouldn't go
Why
farther
restrain
than
your
that.
ambition, Alexander?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone else say otherwise.
Best teacher in all of Oceania. So I wrote a bunch of poems for St. Patrick last year. Writing hasn't been coming as easy as I was hoping the last couple weeks and stuff since last time we came here, so I just went back. It's always hard for me to go back, but I went back. Old poems I wrote to St. Patrick. They're called Letters to St. Patrick from Lewiston, Maine. Dear St. Patrick, I write you once a year to clear my clouded vision of reality. I want to see green shamrocks on the cheeks of my allies. You show me where all the snakes are hiding. It's 2024 in Lewiston, Maine. There's no snow, only rain. And soon, snake eggs will bloom. Everyone will forget my name. I never wanted a holiday, or a plaque, or a statue. Only marble images of virtue. Just someone to read me Irish poetry and march by the hearth when the world is covered in mud.
Yeah.
I just kept writing to him. I was like, I think he's a real person. I think he's a real ghost. It's all epistolary. Dear Patrick, it's okay that it's over. She wasn't even Irish. Was ashamed to be German and the rest of her own damn heritage. I saw your face in a cup of nettle tea and reminded myself to be prickly and free. Free to walk across the concrete and say hello to everybody on the street. Free with poetry and compliments, embracing the present despite circumstance. To see the world green is the true gift of the Irish people. Seems you were one of the last to have faith in all men, but I'll be your clover by the shore. know, St. Patrick's is kind of weird this year. It was like on Tuesday, nobody cared. Everyone's like, well, the Irish get what happened to them. Oh yeah, you went out? Did you hit the streets?
Pub.
Hit the pub?
Norway Brewing Company.
Were people singing Irish music there?
We were singing all
You were singing
the time.
Irish music there.
My granddaughter was
Playing
being a
tunes.
colour guard marching through New York City in the parade.
Yeah, so obviously the gifts of the Irish
Yeah.
continue. I'll go one more Irish, then I'll go myself. Dear Patrick, only 1 in 5,000 clovers have 4 leaves. The whole thing is a genetic anomaly, like attached earlobes or webbed toes. Your last letter finally reached me through the stacks of internet offers and waxen advertisements. You said I'd fall in love with a woman with 2 different colored eyes, would find peace in that rare iris. But you cautioned that she was very far. I could only make out red dust on her car and a few tattoos on the right side of her arm. Yet that's always been a game, hasn't it, Patrick? To find the most special love, the most wonderful charm has never been easy. This was a Lewiston one. I wrote it last night, so I might as well give you guys something I wrote last night. You know, I want to be recent with things. I'm always trying to figure out what Lewiston is. I'm always trying to figure out what the energy here. I'm always trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You know, it's very difficult. It's very fluctuating. It's very chaotic, I suppose. Untitled. Oh no, get out of my head. The cries of the dead factory workers rattle the rushing Androscoggin. Nobody hears them because nobody listens when nobody is talking. The Lewiston Dead are a radio station. The Lewiston Dead are a frequency. They say the moon is red like the canals were red from my blood. The moon is yellow like a French fleur-de-lis draped across my casket. The moon is white like her hands were white when we found her there. This is moon music made by puppets who can't die the right way. This is a radio station you can't turn off if you're Canadian. Oh no, not again. Get out of my head.
Lewiston, Maine. I always thought it was a place of low self-esteem. And,
Oh, this teacher.
right, and not justifiable, because this is an interesting city. Thank you, Alexander. So hiding in the back there, you only see him when you're facing this way, and then he's the only guy there now. But Wayne O'Brien, come on up. Wayne from Wyndham.
My dog. Yeah, I got a little granny.
Haven't heard anyone say otherwise.
I don't know. Some people think they're better than the gods. They're wrong. Me, I'm different. I'm unique, you know?
T-shirt one.
I do need somebody to spray my hair. You're more.
Dark side of the moon.
You should do the Roman general.
So the other night I saw,
You're human.
Rick Floyd at
Oh,
the,
well, they're good.
at Merrill Auditorium, and it was incredible.
My heritage.
We
not
went to
mine.
see the Queen reboot and they were awful.
Oh, you did?
We left
Oh,
halfway
yeah,
through.
I probably did that.
They were
though.
really,
Recent.
the show was every bit as good as Pink Floyd was.
If they ever come back, I'll go.
Alright.
I would do better than you. That is a risk.
How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
You're right.
All right, thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
So I got a few that are hot off the press. I'm gonna share with you here. This one is kind of a fun one. It's called Bonzo, Ode to John Henry Bonham and my pileated friend.
It's been quite some time since I've asked, who's knocking on my dying tree with such rhythm? Then I saw his red hammer, and with his tongue wrapped around his brain, he sent a staccato beat, echoing the silent forest, bringing me a sweet reminiscence of an artist long gone. Though there was a slight similarity to the giant work of Denny Kamasi, he was pure Bonham. I whispered, I shall call you Bonzo. Though I'm sure he heard me, he never broke concentration of his aboriginal beats, drilling with eerie waves. I found myself listening in my head to Moby Dick, tasting nature on my tongue, which, unlike my avian friend, abbreviated to my hyoid. How inferior I truly am. I was thrilled and saddened by nostalgia and wonderment, and obvious reincarnation. But to the wood-boring larvae, it was just another home invasion by this pileated intruder. Who is that knocking on my dying tree? Is it you, Bonzo? Could it be anyone else? So just a little backstory on that one. Up in my tree stand, I call it my pet. It's a pileated woodpecker, and he's huge. And he comes and he knocks on the very tree that I'm up in, and he drills in the woods. And I named him Bonzo, I don't know if any of you know the greatest drummer alive, Bonzo Bonham from Led Zeppelin, who passed away. So I named him Bonzo. So that's where that came from.
Reincarnation. Right?
Yeah, he said he still actually dies.
All right, this one might not be as cheerful, but it's.
You guys are brutal.
This is called Sunday Morning Purgatory. A 50-gallon drum with holes venting the bottom. An incinerator barrel, we called it, as we burned our trash on Sunday morning. I sat on the steps watching my father occasionally disappear behind the bellowing smoke that drifted with the breeze. I remember the anger and emptiness when he left us for good, and the burning his cancer had left me. Then there was a visceral hollowness, like an empty barrel, echoing, I love you, only after the flame was finally out. Now, a vision of myself as my aging father, feeling as unloved as the malodorous trash which we shamefully stuffed into a steel crematorium. I can see the cleansed smoke rising on our Sunday morning purgatory, incinerating my imperfections. Will the words I love you one day be spoken by those who squandered the opportunity as they sift through my ashes for atonement? Cheerful guy, huh? And this one here, and I do this sometimes. I experiment with different forms and different styles. And this one, I've done some of these before, and they're a little bit difficult, but they're kind of fun. It's a pantoum, actually, which those who aren't familiar with it, it's a complex repetition of lines in a certain manner. So, and I haven't gave it a great title yet, so I just call it Oak. But before it goes to publication of any type, I'll have a fancy title for it. I can dance beneath the oak, tall, beautiful, and majestic. I can never own the tree, yet still I love its shade. Tall, beautiful, and majestic, rooted in someone's soil, yet still I love its shade. Limbs graceful in the wind. Rooted in someone's soil, it creates the entire forest, yet still I love its shade and all the breath it gives. It creates its own forest. I can never own the tree and all the breath it gives. I can dance beneath the oak. Thank you.
So, one thing about hanging out together is we get to see each other and we see each other evolve. But Wayne O'Brien, you have become a really, you always were a good poet, but you're such a good speaker as well. Yeah, you've learned a lot about standing here and projecting and having something to project to begin with. Thank you. Jenny from Portland. Who's been on this world tour, which is kind of nice, isn't it?
Okay, well, I'll start out with the depressing one. Yeah. Well, last summer, we had a trip to France. One of the things we did when we were there was we went to visit the cemetery at Omaha Beach, where all the servicemen are buried. So this is called Omaha Beach 2025. From the overlook, channel quiet, tide out, beach golden, the local guide in full flow. They said to the general, "There'll be many casualties." The general replied, "I know." The guide pointed, "Killing zones that way and that, but here, just 2 machine guns, light defense." I looked down at the bluff, green bushes, easy climb for men unburdened, unopposed, but not seasick soldiers, landing heavy laden from swamped boats in smoke and mist. The first wave, half strength before they reached the bluffs, wounded men drowning, landing craft afire. 80 years away, I saw them scramble into bullets, forge up singly in small groups. "Even now," he said, "shrapnel, iron beads from munitions will stay there 100 years. Now, a short shell fire away, 9,000 bodies lie, neat under crosses, Stars of David. Cemetery guidelines say, no pets, bikes, food, no lying or sitting, no running, playing, or other boisterous conduct, proper attire, no littering." It was so untidy then. All plans did not go as planned. If only careless bodies had not littered the landscape, lying down, sitting on grass, improperly attired, if only the conduct was less boisterous. And since we had a woodpecker in Wayne's poem, I thought I'd read you a poem that's in my book. It also has a woodpecker in it. It's called Communion. I curl off words like the birch tree pointing silently to the sky sheds white bark scrolls, free to be unknowing. The rutted aisle opens above to a white sky with blue promise. Bare branches reach like upholding ribs, skeletal leaves hang. On a lichened rock, someone has laid offerings, 2 stones painted red and yellow, coiled snails arranged in a mussel shell. The lake by the rock is a grey silk altar cloth, embroidered with islands of dark green spiky pines. Worshipping woodpeckers hammer staccato hymns, single-handedly demonstrating that everything exists to nourish something else. Now this one, I've got to find it because I've got this one on my phone. Yeah. Of course I had it all lined up and it's gone away.
There you go. You're almost loose.
This one I just had accepted by an online thing called Silver Birch Press, and they do a whole series of things on themes. And the theme of this one was the bugs and insects series. So there's the bugs that the woodpeckers were pecking out of the trees, I guess. Anyway, this poem is called The Benefits of Beetles. And it's got an epigraph to it from J.B.S. Haldane that says, "If one could conclude as to the nature of the Creator from a study of creation, it would appear that God has an inordinate fondness for stars and beetles." So this is the poem I wrote from that. 1 in 4 species is beetle. Humans have only 1 since we wiped out the competition. Beetles still have us beaten though, whether by God or DNA, through natural selection, or the tendency of a puddle to marvel that the hole it's in is perfectly shaped to its needs. Beetles carry on evolving despite us, pollinating crops, eating pests. Humble dung beetles break down waste, turn it to good soil. When the last humans self-destruct, beetles will repurpose the bodies. And this is a bit of a fun one. This one's in the book, and it's called Household Gods. And this one has an epigraph as well from the poet Linda Gregerson, who said, "The household gods have abandoned us to the gods of jurisprudence and suburban sprawl." Which is a great line. I wish I could write a line as good as that. We should keep a shrine, as the Romans did, to household gods, the Lares. Somebody must be in charge, although I'd like to think it could be me in my role as Vesta, guardian of the hearth, or my genius, the paterfamilias. Some things are out of control. The basement leak, the socket the electrician forgot in the circuit, the cake that emerged flat from the oven. They order these matters differently elsewhere. In Italy, they celebrate the divinity of the home with Chianti and pasta. Their churches with communion, host and wine. Gods live where there is eating and drinking. So I shall set up my lararium in the kitchen. The rites of transition performed when I open the door, change shoes, like a new service line bringing in fresh water. I'll serve my lares with casseroles and cakes, served in handmade dishes on embroidered cloths, amid the incense of dinner cooking. My sacred lamp burns under the microwave over the stove. Photographs of ancestors will decorate the wall, to whom we offer the sacrifice of memory. In the god seniority stakes, our household gods can seem less powerful than the gods of jurisprudence, though once I heard one snicker when a meter maid inscribed the wrong license plate number on my parking ticket, rendering my fine sacrifice meaningless. Suburban gods only require the sacrifice of time spent edging rush hour traffic through lane closures. Cosmic planetary deities are too remote for me to believe in their omnipotence. Besides which, the destruction of the world to create an interstellar bypass will take place after my time, Dei Volente. Small gods I can calm with libations, garnish with garlands of marigolds or a fresh-baked cake, are within my reach. I'll pour glasses of wine for them and me and turn inward towards the hearth.
Mystery cults.
Wow.
I also want to
I
say,
love
like,
that mantra. I can, well, the whole thing that you said in your poem was really nice.
So I recently read some of Jenny's new book, her latest book, and it's some of the best poetry that I've read. It's fantastic.
Up the Rose is an amazing book. I got it recently too.
Yeah, it is. I was very impressed with it.
I'm impressed with this book as well.
Julie and Rose.
One after the other.
I was like, I didn't know you guys were doing a little hungry up there.
I just looked around.
All right.
She did her own wine.
Nice. Got one fresh book.
All right, how's that? So this is a poem to my dog, and it's, I've read some of it before, and it's meant to be something that I will add to every year of her life, so that I can remember the different phases. Nellie Mae. It seems that I will always remember each funny or naughty thing you do, but already I see that there are things you have already grown out of, like your glorious halo of puppy guard hair all over your body, or how you used to steal our personal towels hanging in the kitchen, on the kitchen chairs. No more, mostly that time is gone. Now, oh, bigger and deeper holes. Yes, right on the path, her and her buddy Bandit. Or most recently, chasing the poor chickens and ducks outside their pen. She has been helpful though in catching them. She loves it and wants more, puppy-like. Dear sweet Nellie Mae, the apple of my eye or something like that, the most beautiful dog in my mind, my child, my teacher, my long-lost pal. And then it goes on. We're here, she announces with physical exuberance when we come in from doing chores or, well, from anywhere. She's my advanced puppy guard. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. She covers the 50 feet from door to living room in 3 bounds. My long, tall Nellie Mae. And somehow she's learned from the Farm Dog's Handbook that she gets to play when chores are done, and play she will. Ball on a rope is her most favorite of all toys. Now a ratty braided rope tied to a round red rubber jolly ball that I bought for the equine, who thoroughly ignored it for a whole summer. So ball on a rope is her first stop when work is done. She stands beside it and stares at me, as any good wolf descendant can stare, boring into me with hope, intention, willing me to animate the ball and rope. For the thrill of the chase, the imagined chicken or duck on the loose, she leaps for and wrestles the ball to the ground, waiting and alert for the next struggle as I tug on the rope. Until she's in such a frenzy, an explosion of energy, building, until she's racing around with the kickball in her mouth, lightly springing over the 3-foot fence into the orchard next door. Racing around the shed, now in the winter, but the whole garden in the summer, racing and rounding as if it was herds of animals, or looking like a running back from some sport, with a bright orange and blue kickball in her jaws. I clap and cheer, and it's a merry time. Spent and thirsty, and she goes to chew on a Brussels sprout stalk. Then I get to go in. She just recently ran an unprecedented 6 laps around the woodshed. 3 with the ball, a pause or 2 in between, and then 2 more laps without the ball in her mouth, easily leaping the 3-foot fence each time, with back legs flying high, much higher than the fence even. What an athlete, and she's still growing into her prime. She's a star in my heart, and I can experience feeling genuinely joyful. Thank you, Nellie Mae, and all that brings you here. This one is new this year. It's called Joy Journal. I started a joy journal this year, and I stopped one as well. I do feel, or do I feel, joy in my day? That became a question. The first seems like it ought to be a joy, but it's more of a realization. I'm awake. I'm still here. I gotta get me and my sleepy bones dog up and ready to do chores. Maybe the first joy then is when morning chores are done. Animals are fed, watered, and played with. Now I can eat. The second joy is when the dog has been walked and exercised and hay bags are stuffed and ready for supper. That's a super joy. The third joy is when supper chores are done. Animals are clean, fed, locked up for the night. The fourth joy is when all is done. Teeth are brushed, dog has been out, and I'm finally laying down in bed. Are they real joys in my day, or joys when my day is done? Do I diminish the joy because of that? Just let the joy be. I started a joy journal this year, and I stopped one as well. Was I recording my joy or my lack of it? It was disquieting to see. But then maybe I'm living joy. How do I know that I don't have joy? Just right here under my feet. In the places that aren't mucky wet, and with my new boots cradling my feet, I have solid ground under me. Even though I'm looking out over this mucky wasteland, maybe I'm in joy, living joy, having joy, and I don't even notice it. What is joy? I know when Nellie gets going doing silly things, I feel joy. Joy bubble up from my gut. It's a joy, it's a gut sort of feeling. Maybe that's where joy comes from. I stopped a joy journal this year, but maybe I'll start another one. And then number 3, and I'm out.
I'm out.
How do you do it? How do you do what you do when you put it down on paper, or words on your phone now, or a song poem with guitar? Does it just come rushing out, and there it is, complete as a poem? Do you have a thought or concept that you want to put forth, you're wrestling with, or you want to make a point? Do you call it an epistle, and you write it to someone, some imaginary someone, or maybe a real person in your mind? Is it a sonnet or an ode, a golden shovel or a haiku? Do you put it down and then you work it and you scrub it and you choose the right words and tempo and cadence? Or do you let it flow like a cascading waterfall? Do you share the rawness of it and then revisit it a year or a decade later? How do you do it? You're kind enough to let me stand up here and share the different writings I have. And let me call them poetry. The best ones, the ones I feel the best about, I'd say, just come right out onto the paper. Sort of like when the cat yaks up a fur ball. The worst ones maybe are the ones I labor over. Oh, it's not done yet. It's been a year or more, but it's not good enough. How do you do it? For me, it's a way to understand my life. Writing and now sharing. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
How do you do it? Rose.
That's what I was talking about. Got it.
Sorry.
All right. I also have 3. I haven't read in a while. This is fun. All right. This was a lovely little walk. I needed a day to myself, so I went to town and took a walk, and on January 15th, and there was a little river. Bagel on ice, in water, not yet dissolved, fresh, things left unresolved. Ice flow, not yet let go, upturned bottle, caught in a lull, empty fireball, frozen, no warmth to save itself, dribbling water, a constant rhythm, plops, drop on rock and waterlogged snow, and my jacket, back curling to protect me from the sky. What I see at 12:09. And the following week, it kind of two-part. It's a 1.5 part. So the next week, bagel expired.
Oh.
Presumably consumed, mush filling very little room, mushroom kaboom in one that consumed, water resuspended, footprint lacing on the worn fabric of confectionery sugar freshly dusting. I started reading a book about Michelangelo, and he was writing sonnets in this book.
Let's go.
And I wrote a sonnet. Is just because I didn't know what it was. 14-line poem with 10 syllables per line, and I did it where there's the first and third line rhyme and the second and fourth line rhyme, and then what that fourth line and second line is what the first and third line rhymes are for the next one, the next group of four. And then the last two rhyme. Okay.
Shakespearean.
Petrarchan?
No, it's
Petrarch? Petrarchan song?
Stolen sonnet. Extension of mine, return that stolen. My heart wither in thine subtle thievery. Regress to your side and leave me not swollen. You stifling mine creativity. I stumbling in thine halls aimlessly, suffocating in your fleshy prison. Grasping at the shreds of answers blindly, falling to darkness, she'll hold without reason. Forced and blessed to expand in mine vision, lest I live most utterly in sorrow. Called and encouraged to fulfill mine person, lest I live ever in fear of tomorrow. If regaining what was mine be not choice, I'll find mine soul another way, another voice. And I wrote this on the ride here. New moon. Tides are changing, ebbs to flowing, sun is rising, dark to lightening. New moon, hold me in your embrace of pause. Steady me in time, slow in thought, sway with the day. Day of analog thoughts, inside thoughts. Thoughts that dance their journey. Thoughts that look in, gripped to damp earth, held in feather sun,